I'm just, well, I thought I was off screen, but you're definitely not. Just shuffling to get in the centre.
Oh, it's the camera's balanced on top of a very thin screen, and what happens is every time you hit the keyboard, it gently falls backwards.
Yeah, it's the mounting, isn't it? It's.
I thought about putting some Velcro on it or something like that.
Not a bad idea.
Haven't got around to it yet.
Well, I'm back this week on my main PC, which has had a new hard drive fitted because I killed the old one. So.
What happened to the other one?
It just died.
Oh dear.
Died. Overuse. Too much. Morning, King.
Is it backed up?
Yeah, everything's backed up in the cloud, so there's no problem on that score. So I'm back in business. And now we're full steam ahead, and we're just waiting for our friends. And Ken's doing. Right, okay.
Oh, that's better.
And there'll be 3 of us. Morning, Stephen.
Morning, chaps. How are you? Morning, John.
Good morning.
Doing well, doing well. We're just one short.
How's your partner, Stephen?
Recovering.
Does she have a name? We keep calling her your partner, and it sounds awful.
Susan.
Susan.
Yeah, she's. We've got to have dressings taken off today.
Yeah.
And results. Look at my forehead. Bloody hell. We have.
You're complaining.
And we get results the week today. So yeah, she's doing good. Doing good. Thank you very much for asking.
All right. Okay. Right. So as last week, if we do the first half of the show here and decide on 3 topics, yeah, then when we get across onto Facebook Live, we're actually talking about something. Yeah. So
yeah.
This is the pre-show. This is our pre-show. We can have breakfast. Coffee. Yeah. Oh, brilliant. Okay. Yeah.
Banana flakes.
What?
Banana chocolate flakes.
Bloody hell.
It's new. I haven't tried it.
You may be sick after you do.
It says new in the corner. Oh, and Stephen's got a very botanical mug.
One tries. One tries. I'm not sure.
I got
Okay,
one to match the top. All right. Okay. Now, where do we begin? First of all, we're lucky to be here on Fire Talk this week because they kicked everybody off.
It's like cutting your own wrist, isn't it?
Well, I don't understand what these video people are on about because, I mean, Blab told 400,000 people they were rubbish. And now Fire Talk have said, thank you very much, and you've helped us beat a test, but goodbye. And you can only come on for 10 minutes and broadcast to 10 people. I just don't understand, because they are coming up with a paid version. And to my mind, you do the paid version and then you say, well, if you don't want the paid version, I'm afraid we've got to sort of tone it down a bit.
Yeah. Or here's the paid version, it's half price for the next 6 months to you. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that's marketing, isn't it? I mean, but to just sort of beggars belief. And then the day after that, they sort of, well, in my case, they wrote and said you can have a 30-day free trial of the system until we get the prices out, or until you find a free site to move to. And people like Jonathan Tripp and Leland Best and Patricia Murray were all given effectively the same offer. So there are only probably there are tens of people now broadcasting on here, and there used to be hundreds. I think that's the fair comment at the moment. And there's not been a town hall. I mean, the thing is that keep in touch with people. This is the thing I love about Smile Time, yeah, which we've not been on yet. But that's because the problem on Smile Time is you've only got 2 people on screen. Well, you've got 4 people on screen, but it's not equal boxes like it is on here. And I think we should all be in the same size box. But Smile Time hold town halls 3 times a week. Yeah. And keep in touch with their users, and they're about to stay free.
It's still a Wild West, isn't it, as far as this video streaming is going? I mean, isn't it Google have just made a pitch towards it as well, and FaceTime seem to be having problems about what they're going to allow on live stream. Well, here he is, Peter, coming along. But in a few years, you look back and you think, oh, what, there was half a dozen to choose from, was there? Fair enough. So, like in the olden days of everything,
yeah,
it's going to be and as ever, it's going to be sort of VC driven. You know, the money will be driving the product development. And you said that, you know, was it the last bunch had said, time to go, bugger up type thing.
Yeah.
That's just because they'll have run out of money.
Peter looks like he's still in bed.
Well, I'm ill.
He's not in the office.
No, I'm ill. So I'm sitting in my dressing gown. I thought it'd be more appropriate than lying in my bed.
We appreciate it, Peter. We do.
Well, I haven't even shaved. Yes. So, what have we got today then?
Well, the first order is to have breakfast, which is what John and Peter are doing. John and Stephen are doing. And we're going to go Facebook Live at 10:30, and we need to decide now 3 topics that we can actually talk about. So when we actually get on the other side.
Right.
Okay. Now, Ken, I'm just watching the chat at the moment. Ken says he can't hear John. We can all hear John, can't we?
I'm here.
Yes, we can.
Yeah. Are you okay now, Ken? No, can you just okay? If you refresh, usual saying, if you refresh the browser and then see, that might work.
Ken says the Scottish Noel Coward as well. I wonder who he's referring to.
I'm actually using a laptop for the first time in yonks. Yeah, I'm more an iPad man person now. But no, it's so slow. It hasn't been on for a while. It's so slow.
Be updating, Peter. If it's not been switched on for a while, then Windows has got to sort it out.
Yeah, I was using it for. No, I did use it the other day for a talk that I gave on the Berlin Wall. So I'm getting geared up for that now. Is the picture clear?
You're a bit fuzzy.
Yeah, it's an old computer, an old HP camera.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay. What's happening in the Midlands, John?
I don't know. I've been spending too much time doing things like I've now got a house that's got to be emptied.
Right.
So I'm finding some amazing things.
Uh-huh.
Here's my mum's My Baby book from when I was born in 1956.
Wow.
And it has some amazing things in it, like my first word was Dada. I was born with a massive curly hair, apparently.
All right.
All my measurements, how big I was at 1 month, 6 months, 12 months, and all sorts of stuff. And Mum wrote my favourite, you can't see it, but this is Mum's description of my favourite toys when I was 1. So there are no photographs in it. That's the only thing that's missing. But it's interesting to read what you were like in your mum's eyes, because I've never seen it before.
Wow. Yeah.
And then, like you've got news next Wednesday, Stephen, Mr. Silk. I'm afraid it's my mum's funeral next Wednesday. So 2 in just over 3 weeks is quite taxing, to be honest.
Understandable. Yeah.
But I'm trying to sort things out with my brother and sister, and there are things like Dad had collected model cars, little model cars, for more years than I care to think. And what do you do with them? So in the end, I lay them all out on the carpet and all on the chairs and everywhere.
Right.
We went round and picked 1/3 each.
Right.
And
Okay.
I've got 426 of them.
Oh,
Wow.
And apart from about 4 of mine, every single one of them is in its original box.
Well, what's a bit of money? Not money
That
means
sounds
anything
like
to
a
you.
treasure trove.
The unfortunate problem is, apart from perhaps 10%, they're only worth £1 or £2 each.
right.
All right.
It's not a
Yeah.
problem anyway, isn't it? Because it's not like I paid for them, is it? But
Sounds like £1,000 to me.
Yep. Mm.
trouble is, you don't feel like rushing out and selling these things when this sort of thing happens, you know.
No.
So to be honest with you, I haven't really been paying attention outside of the family the last week, which is why you haven't seen me much on Facebook either. It's been good to come across 1 or 2 little treasures, you know, that remind you of when you lived at home. And that was 37 years ago.
37 years ago, eh? Wow.
Well, I'll have been married 35 years in the not too far distant future. So, yeah, it's 37 years since I left Mum and Dad's.
It's what? 42 years since I left home and got wed. Yeah. Okay.
Morbid stuff. Let's move on. Let's find something happy to talk about.
Okay. If it's the Midlands, there's only one topic of conversation.
Like the fact that Stoke are propping up the Premier League.
2 topics of conversation.
And the fact that they weren't patient enough to give RDM enough time. Yeah.
Well, the most important thing, even more important than Stoke City, is TEDx Stoke.
Oh, TEDx Stoke.
Yeah, 3rd of December.
Uh-huh.
We're meeting with the local paper, the Evening Sentinel. You might not have heard of it, but we're doing that. It's a fascinating thing to do. You know, I'm a volunteer, as are all the other people, and we're using all the tools and techniques that we know to promote the thing.
Yeah.
So we got Facebook posts and boosts. We got LinkedIn. We actually got text ads on LinkedIn, and it's just so it's a fast. You know, it becomes a community thing as ever. You know, we're doing community stuff, the 4 of us now, and the TED stuff is the same. The team, and then the extended team, and then the speakers, and then their friends. It becomes a community, which is a fabulous thing because you start sharing stuff and making relationships with people you wouldn't have known. And it's a brilliant thing. So it really isn't just about the one day where we'll have 100 guests. It's about the ongoing TED community idea. And if you get a chance to get involved with your local TED, if you're going to have one, grab it with both hands. It's a great thing to be part of. Really is.
Who is in the lineup?
Yeah, the lineup's online. It's online now,
Right.
but we've got people coming from a couple of guys from Keele University. We've got one of the chief ladies at the Donna Louise Trust, which is from our discussions, we just know it's going to be amazing. And there's a lady, Sheila Robinson, who is I think she won't mind me saying, she's an 80-year-old lady suffering from dementia. And her presentation, like everybody else's, is going to wow the audience. And Sheila's actually on Radio Stoke on Saturday morning because she goes around the world talking about how she's coping and living and surviving with dementia. And she's an amazing lady. And, you know, as I said, it's about community. I would never have met her. And I have now, and it's sort of it's enriched my life. You know, it's the craziest thing. So if you get a chance to, the website, by the way, if anybody's watching, is tedxstoke.com. If you get a chance to link in with me on LinkedIn, or indeed the site itself, that'll be fab. And of course with TED, it's not, as I said, it's not just about the day itself. It's about the future and the availability of the videos of the speakers, which are there forever.
Yep.
And that includes sponsors as well. So if anybody would like to sponsor the event, you're more than welcome. So it's just fab, really fab. Now, what is TEDx, Stephen? Ken, yeah. If you know what TED.com is, which is the sort of international speakers and presentations aimed at changing people's lives, basically. 15-minute videos of people talking about marvelous things. TEDx is the local variant where a locale like Stoke creates their own event, their own TED event. And it's an amazing thing, I mean, I'm not sure if it's on TEDx Solihull, John, or
I don't think so.
TEDx Stonehenge, Stephen.
Graphically would think.
No, TEDx Stonehenge, no, I don't think that's on the cards.
We've had great speakers in Solihull, though. Mr. Healy came and gave a talk in Solihull. A very well attended event on CRM. So
that was in the previous lifetime.
I was down your way.
Discovered video.
I was down your way, Stephen, a few weeks ago. My daughter-in-law lives down there, and I was tempted to go to see Stonehenge, but my brother-in-law said it was. Well, I won't say exactly what he said on air, but I'll be down again soon, so I shall have to pop across and have a coffee with you, my friend.
Oh, sure. Yeah, devisers, you're always welcome.
Yeah, this was in Salisbury, in the barracks near Salisbury.
All right, okay. And Peter, how did your talk go last week?
It was okay. It was I got a new projector, but it was in a really hot room, and it was fairly older people. There was a few there. It was just more about a practice and giving them some information.
Yeah.
And it's just getting the right type of audience, really, because when I asked, is there any questions? Nobody asked any questions. Not one said, what about this and what about that? So I don't know what they were really expecting, And it was just my time at the Berlin Wall, really, and just giving a few facts and figures and some pictures. So yeah, it doesn't excite everybody, I've got to be honest with you. It's just a passion of mine, and try to get that information over. And but people can be strange, they can come up to you later, so I really enjoyed that, or they just don't say nothing. It was a very old audience, so that was a couple of it.
It's a fascinating piece of history, because the Berlin Wall, I mean, that's the time JFK was president, and it went up. I mean, it went up overnight, didn't it? And it changed because there were. Yeah. We've got to cast our mind back. This is when we were young, all of us, or even our parents were thinking about us. The wall went up overnight and divided Berlin, but it was a compromise, or on the Russians' part, to stop nuclear war. Because at that stage we had the nuclear arms race, and the US and Russia were, well, they were, what's the word I'm looking for? They were playing off against each other, and the Berlin Wall sort of stopped that.
Well, it was more Germans who were losing. Everybody was going to Germany because they were getting 4 Deutschmarks to 1 Deutschmark, and a lot of them, they had a brain drain. Everybody was going through to the west, and they just had to stop the hemorrhage of the people leaving.
Yep.
So that was the reason to put up the wall, to stop them going through. And people don't know the significance of that wall coming down. The wall coming down opened up the world in the end, And as I said to people, I've met people, West Germans who lived in Berlin at the time, they want the wall back up. They don't like the way it is. Fascinating. Want the wall back up. Amazing. And so it opened up quite a few things. I think it's probably the spread of bed bugs as well, believe it or not, because once the wall came down and just started getting people moving here and there, bed bugs went up significantly. you know, especially in Kent. That's where it all started in Britain, down in Kent. So it was fascinating. But I'll tell you what I am aware of. I'm aware of the time. And have we got any subjects for 10:30?
We need some
Would
subject.
we like to talk about the Android, talk about is it the Nexus 7 still blowing up?
Yeah, we can talk about a Google phone.
Pixel, isn't it?
It's the big version of this, the Samsung Note 7 that's had its problems, but it was only in the first batch.
No, I've seen a report saying that the replaced ones have blown up as well.
Well, some people, because there were idiots in the shops, were given the first batch as replacements to the phone. And it only happens in America as well, because over here they're completely different things anyway, because they have different processors and things in them.
Oh God!
Okay, so we'll talk about phones, Samsung and the new Google phone. Did you see the presentation?
No, I didn't see the keynote.
No, this is on Tuesday when the keynote was taking place. It was broadcast live on Across the Pond. The stage was the backdrop to Across the Pond, and Leland was in one box, I was in another box, and we were talking about the presentation as it went on. It was quite amazing use of vMix technology to be able to talk about the conference.
So you're streaming the conference in one window and talking about it in two others.
It was, yeah, basically that's the net effect. It was a YouTube live, so the YouTube live stream was brought in, and then on top of that, I was in my normal seat and Leland was overlaid on the other side of the screen, and for the first 40 minutes it was beautiful, and then it went tits up, but first 40 minutes were first 40 minutes were,
Is that a new international expression, is it?
I didn't say that at the time because we had a lady on screen as well, so but it was
so British.
Yeah.
Our experiment last week has reached nearly 300 views.
That's brilliant, isn't it?
Bobby?
Yeah.
On Facebook.
All right. So we're going to talk about phones. Have a good look.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
If
we get a chance,
what about three?
If we get a chance to talk about phones, talk about this one, which has become a bit broken. Oh, you can't see that, can you?
What is it?
The beautiful iPhone 6, and it's broken on the screen there. You can't see it, I don't think. But yeah, I'm just debating whether to have it fixed or not, because it's going to cost 200 quid to fix. Is it worth it?
200 quid if you go to Apple.
Yes.
We've just had my daughter's 5S repaired, and it was 37 quid by a local man.
Have you got that touch? Has it got the Touch ID thing at the bottom?
Oh, I don't think so. It's only the 5S, but the screen had broken.
That little thing there. If you go to a
No,
unauthorized,
I'm not an Apple man.
If you go to an unauthorized reset
Guys,
fixer.
what if we do
They've removed
different
that from
subjects?
the unauthorised reset trap, haven't they?
We're on shortly.
Sorry, Peter, can you say that again, please?
Why don't we get three completely different subjects? So we're going on shortly.
Yeah.
Every time I mention a subject, we get deeper
Oh,
into
we're
it.
having a technology section.
Right, okay.
Okay, so that's the phone.
What about
That's
coffee,
the phone.
Peter?
Political. Yeah. Political section.
Okay, politics. Okay,
Theresa May.
okay, politics.
Right, and then somebody can pick something else.
Right. Hey, today is National Poetry Day. That went down like a lead balloon. I'm not a poet.
Yeah.
Like cricket for me, Stephen. That is.
Oh God. I think
Was that a funny noise coming up from Wiltshire?
it was, but it's poetry. I mean, Keats, Wordsworth. Oh, okay then.
What dogs you do for humans?
Look at the woofer.
Right. Okay. We need a third topic. We have 5 minutes to choose it. All right, okay. Ken's saying fracking. Shall we talk about fracking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Up in your homeland.
Sorry, John?
I said up in your homeland.
Indeed. All right, so fracking it is then. So,
Frack or not to frack?
all right. So, technology, politics, and fracking. So we can talk around those. So we're going to talk about Mrs. May, about what's going on there, what we think is going on there.
Did you hear her taking the mick out of Boris within the third sentence?
No.
She said that we're here today, blah, 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 and we're here to see if Boris can stay on message for more than 4 minutes.
She knows how to put the boot in, doesn't she?
But it just seems so right, doesn't it? You know, such a buffoon that it just seemed like a great way to introduce.
He's a
comment
lovable
beginning.
buffoon.
The one takeaway that has been from this is that Amber Rudd, Amber Rudd saying that all foreign workers working within a company should be on a register that the company keeps.
One of our local papers likened her to a Nazi last night for that statement.
Fascist, isn't it?
Angelica did too.
It's craziness.
Yeah, so that's a topic, right? Thank you, Amber Rudd. No, but I mean, right, okay, so we're not to discuss it now. We'll keep our thoughts powder dry until we have
Have we got a link to go to, Stephen?
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, I suppose that's a point.
Can you just let me know if my screen is flashing?
No, you're very clear.
Is it not flashing at all? So it must be the...
It's your ambient light sensor because of where you are.
Oh.
There's the link. We're all moderators. Ken, if you want to join as moderator and find out what it looks like, you're more than welcome to do so. Doesn't mean you have to come on screen, but you can have a look around and sort of get a feel for Blue Jeans. Blue Jeans, it's still on a 30-day trial. We've got another two weeks, and then we know what the pricing is.
Do you know what the pricing is, you say, or not?
It gets more complicated. As we're talking to staff and getting trained, they're giving away snippets of information that they know. And the latest is, we know there's a corporate product which is used for conferencing, and that's got blue chip companies using it. There's a product we're using, which is Blue Jeans Prime Time, which goes out to Facebook. And there's going to be a new product called Blue, which is aimed directly at us. Okay, so it's a cut down version of what we're going to use in a couple of minutes' time. But it changes every day. Different people get told different things, and then Chinese whispers take place. And then somebody says, "It's $2,500 a show." And somebody else says, "No, it's not. It's not $2,500 a show. That's a totally different product."
It's $10,000 a show.
But you can understand it if you're a corporate and you're broadcasting to 2,000 employees around the world, then it's $2,500 a show. But we get to use the technology, right?
But don't you think? Do you think they're trying to capture the youngsters? They're trying to capture maybe youngsters who will use it just like they use Facebook and Snapchat and all these things. Really,
that's the price.
In the long term, mass people.
It's the mass market.
Yeah,
indeed. We are but pioneers.
Ken's just put here, reminds me of salesmen who ask how much can you afford them. When I was professionally sales trained back 20 odd years ago, the first thing I was taught to learn was, have you got a budget? So yeah, I agree. Have you got a budget?
As if they're going to tell you.
Actually, do you know, it's amazing how many people will tell you they've got a budget if you ask them.
I don't.
Right, okay. It's time to head over and hopefully it loads.
Do we have to do anything?
Yeah, we have to click the link.
I'm going to, right. In fact, we can take this in turns if you want. Stephen, if you want to head over there, you can just press
okay.
Moderate with browser when you get there.
Well, then. Right, it's have to log in.
Hang on, I need to start it down now. Just a minute. The moderator is getting ready to start the event. Okay, I'm going to come out of here because we can't use our cameras twice. Okay, so I'm going to end the event. Great to see you, Ken. Hope to see you across there. Guys, we're ready to go and see you all soon. Bye for
Cheers.
now.